Hello, my dancing friends. I'm Tamara. I'm a professional dancer and Feldenkrais teacher. I've done over 500 hours of awareness through movement lessons. And today I'd like to share with you 7 very personal, real-life ways this method has completely transformed my dance. Not by giving me more choreography or different technique, but by completely transforming the way I move. And in transforming my movement, it transformed who I am when I dance. So if you're a dancer who feels like there's something missing or something more out there to take you to the next level, or maybe you just want to feel more like yourself when you dance, or maybe you have pain or burnout yourself, then this is for you. So let's get into it. The 7 shifts I experience in my dance as a result of Feldenkrais. Number 1, my pain was gone. Here's the thing is I lived with persistent lower back and neck pain really my whole life since I could remember, and I didn't know how to get rid of it. I just thought someday I'll deal with it later. And I went to physical therapy and it didn't really help me because physical therapy treats almost everything like a strength issue. Like, you're not strong, you have one weak part, let's strengthen your glutes and your abs to make your lower back pain go away. And my problem wasn't that I wasn't strong enough, it was actually just overuse or how I organized my movement. I was trying too hard all the time and I wasn't organizing my movement from a more central place. So I discovered this one Feldenkrais lesson called Spine Like a Chain. It's like you lay on the floor and do very small, gentle movements, moving your lower back like links in a chain. And I did this movement lesson every day for a whole week. And it was very remarkable how quickly my pain was gone, even in the first day I did this lesson. I felt a sense of freedom and ease and lightness and mobility in my lower back that I really don't remember ever feeling. It was new to me. And I learned these principles in Feldenkrais, which were less effort and better organization. And this is really what physical therapy ignores, this possibility of using less or less effort. This is what really was game changer for me. And my pain went away not because I had to stretch every day, I stretched it out, or I did strength training. It was the exact opposite of strength training. Let's go harder and stronger. It was like, wait, let's think about how we're actually moving and use less effort and map out these effortless possibilities for our movement. And as a result of that, number 2, I stopped trying so hard and my dance got a lot better. The quality of my movements improved. My movements got smoother, clearer, more expressive because I learned how to organize myself better. I didn't need to use as much effort. And as a result, I could breathe more. My breathing changed. I could dance a whole half-hour set without sweating, without losing my breath because I was so well organized. I had this new option of not pushing myself, not burning out, not trying so hard. And I knew how to organize myself better and breathe more freely, deeply, and easily. I even heard the audience notice this. I literally heard people say, I can see her breathing. And it wasn't a dramatic, gaspy shortness of breath. It was a soft, deep, open, effortless breathing while I moved. And this kind of presence is felt in the audience. Number 3 is I slowed down, and this made me magnetic. I became calmer, more slow, more deliberate, more present in my movement. I gave myself permission to pause, to feel, to take my time. And because this is one of the core principles in Feldenkrais, to learn how to pause, slow down. And this slowness, while being aware of your sensations, it leads to this full possibility of awareness and choice by being very deliberate and intentional about the way you move. And I started to really savor this slowness, this delicacy, this quietness in my dance. And I even remember people whispering in my show. I heard people say, "I love her pauses," or someone said, "She's so soft." And people don't know I could hear them when I'm dancing right there. Anyways, this method gave me the courage to stop performing like a machine, and I started performing like a human being. Number 4 is my anxiety disappeared. And I'm not exaggerating. I used to get really anxious before shows. And after doing so many hours of awareness through movement, I felt like I had a brand new nervous system. I didn't have stage fright. I didn't second guess myself mid-movement, or am I doing it right? Or all of these nervous habits I had, like flicking my wrist or holding tension in my face or kind of rushing once in a while, being ahead of the music. All of these habits vanished. I used to feel compulsive, like I couldn't not do them, but now I had choice. I had this other choice of slowness and presence and complete trust in the way I moved. And that was a huge shift for me, being super calm as a dancer. The 5th skill I learned was next level skeletal awareness. And this one's a little hard to describe, but once you feel it, you really can't unfeel it. I learned how one force moves through your skeletal structure. Like if I move my toe or my foot and I feel it in my shoulder or in my neck or in my top of my head, if I move one part that feels very far away and I can feel it, this transmission of force move across my whole self and travel, this line of movement of how force just naturally moves through your skeleton if you're not interfering with it. This is where truly effortless movement can happen. And while you're learning the transmission of force through your skeleton, you become aware of where you're bracing or resisting or trying to control your movement. And you find more freedom and availability for movement, and this really changes everything, changes your quality and sense of freedom and sense of effortlessness. You begin to embody this smoothness and fluidity and wholeness in your movement. It's like this effortless grace starts to show through you with skeletal awareness, because also your muscles all organize around where your skeleton or where your bones are in space. And I really got curious about how movement works, how anatomy works, biomechanics, how muscles organize themselves around their bones. And this awareness really changed the way I dance, the way I teach, the way I move and inhabit the structure that is my body. Number 6 is I learned what integration was. In belly dance, we're trained to isolate a lot of our body parts, move our hips separately from our chest, just all this differentiation and isolation. So I learned through belly dance how to isolate everything, but through Feldenkrais, I learned how to connect everything, how to integrate everything and move as an integrated whole. So even though I can separate these different parts, I can also connect all of them. And that was something that was missing. This idea that everything's connected, that the movement of your hips can affect the movement of your entire spine and your entire head if you let it, if you're not resisting this natural, effortless flow, seamless integration of movement is what I learned through the Feldenkrais method. What I also mean by integration is not only integrating a new pattern of action or a seamless pattern of movement, but having a more integrated, complete self-image, because I'm mapping out this physical self-image through movement and sensation. I'm also mapping out my self-image. This translates to feeling more whole and more integrated as a person, as a whole being. And as a result, it changed my whole identity, my sense of self. And I began to express myself more, know myself more, and more confidently express who I am through dance. It really transformed my whole identity. And number 7, the last and final shift, is I became more confident, more capable, and more wildly creative, because all of that background noise, all of that background tension was gone, and now I had space in my system, in my attention, in my imagination, in my sense of being, that I could improvise with more clarity and respond to what's happening in the moment, the sound or the sensation, and be fully present with the music, with the audience, and with myself. And it wasn't about performing anymore. It was more about expressing the music, the emotion, the moment in real time. And that was the biggest shift for me. And honestly, to me, that's what dance is all about, is this magical place of complete presence that we chase as dancers, as artists. It's like being in the eye of the storm. It's like all of this is happening around you, and you have this remarkable quietness and clarity. It's so brilliant, and it's worth living for. I'm curious to hear, what would it look like if you slowed down, if you used less effort, if you were more yourself in your dance? What might be possible, and how might you get there? What if you started listening more deeply to yourself and your surroundings? And I'm not sharing this because I think everyone should become a Feldenkrais nerd like me, although I honestly wouldn't want to stop you. But because this practice gave me something that I didn't know I needed. It gave me a sense of freedom, a sense of ease, and a sense of home in myself. And if that's something you're craving, I'd love to share it with you. I created a free Feldenkrais awareness through movement lesson. It's gentle but powerful and perfect for dancers. I'll link to it in the show notes. And if you found this episode useful, enlightening, or I hope you learned something new, then please like, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know your thoughts. And that's all for now. Thank you for listening.